bloody iwi ticket clippers this morning, and now I'm thinking, maybe I'm not. Maybe my heart's warming to the little flipper guys. The Maoris one up off the West Coast, though, they are like the Down syndrome kids of marine mammals. They're crossbred, and they deserve to die. Not Downs people, don't start that. I'll be in big trouble.
They're crossbred. They're the Down syndrome children of the marine world, and they deserve to die. I told you, I warned you. I can see your face, Chewy. I gave fair warning. Because it's very clear that some people have connected the "and they deserve to die" to this part of the statement about the Downs children. So, I told you it was bad. Like I told you it was bad. But Chewy, you haven't heard that before, obviously. Your first reaction?
I've seen it written. It hits different when you hear it.
Yeah.
And when you realize that he knew what he just said.
Yeah.
What an idiot. Look
at
what
the
an asshole.
Look at the chat. The fuck. What did I just hear? What the fuck? Fucking hell. Mask off. That's a very good point. It needs to be cancelled and banned. And then someone sounds like AI. I don't think so. In fact, there are those people who are coming out and defending him, and you'll be surprised. This was on my Twitter feed, this one from obviously a fake account, but there wasn't a lot of defense, but the defense that there was went straight to, guess what? The anti-vaxxer movement. Get over it, Pat. Was a bad joke, a really bad one, but shit happens. He doesn't mean it. I'm sure you were one of the ones telling the unvaxxed they should die. That's where his defense comes from.
Well, no.
That's where his defense comes from.
That never happened.
No, never happened. Let's have a listen to the apology.
I'm going to start with an apology. An apology largely in response to, unfortunately, I think...
Largely in response. Largely. So a good portion of this apology is largely in response to...
a kind of pile-on cyber attack by some people who don't get on with me, some people who might imagine they're competitors.
You see how at one stage I was thinking, what have we done? What have we done? What have we done? So the apology is largely because of people who don't like him piling on, right? So it's not largely because I said a fucked up thing. He said it's largely because these people, who we'll tell you about them shortly, piled on.
Of the platform. Foremost amongst them, a gutter snipe, self-styled journalist who...
Still wasn't clear if it was us or not.
...is a buffoon and a bully into dirty politics. I'm not even going to bother with his name, but...
Cameron Slater, that's his name. I'll just put it out there. It's Cameron Slater.
Oh, Cameron Slater!
They leapt with glee, these people.
Wow. Okay.
Upon some comments I made when discussing the Hectors and Dolphins, and in particular Maui Dolphins, around the Sale GP on Monday. And during my discourse on that, I made comparisons with these dolphins due to their strange genetic makeup to a group of vulnerable New Zealanders.
He even said their strange genetic makeup. It's like, do you understand digging a hole? Like so you're just saying because these kids have a strange genetic, do you think that's not possibly offensive to like the parent of a kid with Downs? You're going to keep digging?
He can't even do an apology. Like, he's stumbling around. I'm going to have to apologize because I was ganged up on and by horrible people, and people have been taking my words out. Sorry if you were offended. Fucking Jesus Christ, man. Just say your mouth ran away with your brain. You said something dumb. You're a big dummy. And you continue repeating that for 30 minutes and we'll call it quits.
100 lines saying, I'm a big dummy.
And that may have been taken not in the humorous way I intended it. And actually...
So it's your fault for being offended. It's your fault for being offended. It was a joke and you got offended. It might have been taken in a way it wasn't your fault. Your fault.
Looking back, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't that funny. And using
First fucking true thing you've said your whole life, mate.
a group of people who face unique challenges to make a joke isn't actually very cool. So I'm just going to take that on the chin.
Not very.
Was a dumb thing to do, and it was insensitive.
No, it's not very cool, man.
What a deeply uncool thing to do, Sean.
And I seem to have upset. Well, I haven't genuinely upset some. Some of it's trolling. But I have had a couple of messages from people who are genuinely upset on behalf of themselves and those they care for and those they live with and their community. And
so what happened, I can remember a complaint being made to Sean Plunket. I can remember it being quite a big thing he did on air. And it might have even been Suze Wilson made a complaint. And they made a big, massive thing about, we don't care if we offend people, and let's put it in the, we'll file it away in the department for our complaints, and they threw it in the bin. They've made such a big, look at me, big, tough white man, I don't need to apologize. What I say is what I mean. And all of a sudden, it's all changed. Now, why is it changed? I mean, I struggle to believe within this apology that it's genuine, because he's not apologizing. He's blaming every other person and kind of going, but They made too much of us, but I did contribute somewhat to the words coming out of my mouth. What's to do? And I think, I wonder if it's got something to do with, now this is completely conjecture, something to do with funders, something to do with advertisers. Remember, he got very angry at Magic, who bowed to the advertisers when he lost his job. That's what he claimed, at least anyway. Because if it's one or two complaints, the amount of flagellation, if that's the right word, when you hit yourself with a thing, that he's putting himself through sort of at the moment doesn't seem quite right. There's something more to this. There's something else going on here. I'm not sure what it is, but this is more than just one or two people were upset with me that I trust. It's more than that. We'll just get to the end of this. I'm sorry to drag it out.
That is the Downs community. And I did not intend, though I absolutely accept I did cause harm and distress. It may not have been my intention. That was certainly the outcome, and it was insensitive of me, and I will not do it again. And I am sincerely sorry for any distress I might have caused. If you are dealing with rare challenges like that in your life or someone else's life, you hardly need a smart-ass shock jock. Basically making things more difficult for you or increasing the possibility of prejudice against you.
Okay, Howard Stern.
And I am sincerely sorry if I did so. Please accept my apologies.
There you go. So I mean, look,
as it was,
but let's give him something. All right, the last 30 seconds is how it's all he should have said. Those last 30 seconds should have been all of it. He used the word sincere, he apologised, yada, yada, yada. But he spent so much time talking about the cyber pile-on, people attacking, trolls, blaming everybody else. And then he spent 30 seconds going, yeah, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
If your apology has to have a 10-minute preamble about how dark forces are allied against you and all of this sort of bullshit and carry on. And there's all of these reasons and all of these excuses and all of that. It's not an apology. Just fucking walk away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're offended.